But on this one, you can definitely feel cold air. Holy smokes. That is great. It's just running amazing. It can even reach higher FPS right now because of this. Earlier, we're just stuck on 45, but right now it's reaching 50, 52, even 60 earlier, which is nuts. What's up, YouTube? This is your boy G back in another video. I purchased this JSAUX backplate for Steam Deck, and this is the transparent back cover. Now, if you notice, right, I've been rocking a transparent cover for my Steam Deck as well, but not this time, right? Now, I do have the default case for this one because this is actually the Steam Deck OLED, right? This is a 1 TB Steam Deck OLED that I just got recently. I purchased this one and it's, by the way, it's very awesome. Watch out for the review. I will also pull up a long-term review for this one. I'm just using a game right now. But yeah, this one is amazing, right? So yeah, let me just close this real quick here. But yeah, this is amazing. I've been using, this one for a couple of weeks now, and it's just bananas, right? This is really good. Again, watch out for the full review for Steam Deck OLED. I'm using it for, prolonged period of time. Excessive actually use of PlayStation. Jackie, for a shame it's not saying how many hours, but that is like 300 hours already. But yeah, this today I'm going to install this backplate from Steam Deck. Now, the interesting, or from JSAUX, right, for Steam Deck, the interesting thing about this is the transparent back cover, but this is like the version 2, right? Again, I do have the version 1, but the version 1 doesn't have a fan, right? And I believe I ordered the one that has a fan on it. So let's go ahead and unbox it real quick here and see if that's the one that we got. Let me just put my Steam Deck aside there. Open this up. By the way, if you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing because I unbox and review stuff like this. I also put up some gaming materials, or gaming videos rather, for tutorials and entertainment. So that may help you in your purchase decision, specifically the unboxing that I do. So thank you so much in advance. All right, now very first thing that we're gonna see. By the way, I ordered the purple one, so this will be exciting. So on the very first top here, holy smoke, that's almost pink. So it has the back buttons, right? If you want elevated one or something. I'm actually extremely happy on the back paddles that I have. If you notice, those are from Play Vital, and I just absolutely love them. I'm not gonna replace that with anything. I love the feeling of those back plates, so I'm gonna keep them. That looks amazing for a screwdriver. So you do have this head, which is like spinning, branded JSAUX, and a really cool looking screwdriver, right? It's a shame this is not replaceable, or maybe it is, right? You can like tighten it up, but this is really great screwdriver, right? Precision rather. But yep, so that is spinning real fast. And this little item, oh, okay, it has the replacement screws on this. I would suggest to use the screws provided to ensure that they're absolutely new compared to the one that you have, because those might be a little bit soft already. This is a pick for a guitar, but this is actually a plucking tool to pry, or prying tool. You also get the plastic one. This is actually pretty weak. I don't like this from previous JSAUX, but I do have the new version, which is this one. And again, a couple of more screws, and this weird looking rubber condoms, right, that you had to put in your finger to anti-static and whatnot. All right, let's go ahead and open up the main star here. Of course, you also have this instruction booklet here if you want to check that out. But finally, we have the version 2 of the Steam Deck backplate. Ooh, that is super fancy. I love that. Wow, I love that. Okay, So there's already a pre-installed default height button, which I love because I remember on a previous iteration, the version 1, they did not include or did not install this. I think I can't remember if it's installed or what. You can check my video again. But wow, okay, this is very interesting. High quality, as you can see, right? No residue or anything like that. Very high quality. This is not the RGB LED version. I don't like that colorful stuff, but this is pink, or rather purple already, and I absolutely love it. So one biggest difference that I can notice right away is the back plate is not visible anymore. I don't know if I like that, because before, when the back plate is here, it's visible here. You can actually touch it. That it's hot. The heat is being transferred in this one, and at least the ambient temperature can dissipate some of those, right? But on this one, it's just trapped inside. So you will have to solely rely on these fans and to dissipate the heat. So I don't think that that is actually helpful at all. Very first thing that I'm going to do is to remove this. I'm going to remove this to make sure that the heat transfer is unobstructed right on the back, because you have little components right there and you don't want to trap the airflow on that one. Now, one biggest, or if not the biggest difference of all, is now you have a hole in the middle. Noted that. It's quite scary because it's directly installed on the top of your fan, unlike for this one, it's installed in the bottom, pulling up cold air here, and then basically scooping all of your internal organs there, internal components rather, and then ultimately being exhausted by the fan here. However, here, it can now pull cold air from the middle as well. So we're actually going to monitor the temperature before and after and see how it does, right? First thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn on and play some tough games, heavy heater games that can definitely exhaust the resources. I believe the Monster Hunter Rise is not as demanding as others, but there's a high setting here, and it's also HDR, as you can see HDR right there. And then if we go to the display, we have graphics settings, average, very high, things like that. And we're currently on the custom because we set everything to high. And you can even hear the fan spinning a little bit there. If you notice, fan is extremely high at 5,200 RPM right there. Definitely having a tough time, right, running this game a little bit here. And FSR off, and as you can see, there's even like depth of field happening here. Again, this is a gorgeous game, as you can see. It's HDR supported even for Steam Deck OLED, and it's running at 47 FPS right now, even though the display is 90, right? So definitely being exhausted. You can actually see the GPU on the top. It's 99% already. CPU is around 57, 60, but the temperature that we've got so far is 71, right? Maxing at 73, I believe, Celsius degree. Now, again, that is running on 5,200. So let me just take note of that. I'm playing this for a couple of minutes right now, but I'm in an air-conditioned room. I do have an aircon right now on my room here, my office. So it's pretty cold here. It's just really like using its internal cooling system and fan and whatnot. But the ambient temperature here is pretty nice. I believe I'm on 22 Celsius degree for my aircon. But again, it's running at 5,400 RPM. The fan is actually extremely fast. I don't know if you can hear that. Right? So that is the fan. And we're sitting at 74 for the GPU. the APU, or sorry, the GPU is 70. Actually, the CPU is 74, and the GPU at 99% is sitting around 72 Celsius degrees. So I haven't seen it going to 80 yet, which is actually pretty nice, because I remember my original Steam Deck before running the Days Gone, if I can remember. I was playing Days Gone there, and it can actually reach 80, Celsius degrees. But this one, 45 FPS, maxed everything. Everything is maxed here, and it's running at 73 degrees Celsius. Again, this is the default system, right? As you can see, you can hear the fan really fast now, 5,300. So our goal later on is to see if the temperature will decrease or the fan RPM will be lower, right? Because lower RPM fan is quieter, and of course colder is better. So again, maximum of 72 Celsius degrees on GPU and CPU. Not bad, actually, not too shabby, because again, it's pretty cold in this room. But let me go ahead and install this now, and let's revisit this actual game, exact same game, later on. I'll be right back. All right, so to start up, of course, we're gonna use our handy dandy case here. This is the case for the OLED. This is the one that I really love now. It doesn't have that before. Oh, I forgot that we do have this, so we're gonna use that. And it's still thick as usual, but we're just gonna use this, put the Steam Deck like this, and start open it up. Now, one thing that you're gonna do first is, of course, SD card must go, right? Do not forget this, because if you forget to remove this, you're gonna destroy your SD card. So make sure you remove the SD card first, and then we can go ahead in the installation or the removal of the backplate, the default backplate. So we can go ahead and put the transparent one. All right. I say it's pretty easy to remove. As a matter of fact, it's much more easier for me to remove this compared to the OG. I think it's because of the prying tool. I love this thing. The original one doesn't have that, only this one. Okay, huge difference by the way. There is a white, right, like an aluminum cover before, but it's not as good as this one. This one is entirely covered. Now on the back of that, it's just this, right? Some heat material so you don't feel the heat here, but it doesn't have any steel or any plate or anything that you can use as a back plate. So like what I said earlier, the very first thing that I'm gonna do, as a matter of fact, is remove this. I don't want this to be pressing here and interfering with the cooling there, right? This one is already pretty good, so I'm not gonna install this part. Let me go ahead and remove that. I'm not gonna install that part. Yeah, a little bit like that cold plate, so that there's a little bit of gap, right? It's gonna be like the original one. There'll be a little bit of gap from that part, right? As you can see, so that the air can circle a little bit in this one and this area, cool that a little bit there. And interesting part is, again, the fan itself has a screen, right? It has a dust protector there. Pretty sturdy. It's actually solid, not flimsy, and it's right there. It's super fine, as you can see, very fine. So a lot of airs will be pushed there, but no dust shall enter that. Now I do have the case as well, again, mod case, and even I purchased the kill switch again, like what I said, so it's not even going to be exposed. But it will help grabbing some air, you know, on the ambient one. So let me go ahead and install this now. And again, I remove that plate looking like this, and bam. Oh, it's already scratching some of my OCness because I can see that the fan is not centered there. It's not a center. It's not a big deal, but oh, okay, got it. It's actually pretty tight. That looks amazing, guys. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can turn on my flash here. All right, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks amazing. Wow. Buttons work great. Wow. Perfectly fit, right? Look at that. Right? It's just exactly like the default one, but fancier. Wow. Great fit, right? The only thing that can be bothered, right, is that fan. If you notice, it's not centered on that square. But I get what you know, why they did that because it has screws here, and they have to perfectly align that circle, right? And they don't probably don't want to make it larger than it already is, so it's a little bit small. So it's not as centered as I expected it to be, but it's fine. And honestly, it might even help, right, in air, right, in pulling some air because it's just angled a little bit lower. That means the rotation of the fan is actually a little bit higher here, so it might pull some cold air here, right, along with this one, that angular. It might pull up some cold air there, you know, scattering it inside before throwing it out on the top. All right, that is extremely easy. Let me go ahead and install the screws here, make sure that it's tight, and then we can proceed in our testing. Again, if you're not a subscriber, guys, please consider subscribing. I unbox and upload videos like this, you know, that might help you in your purchase decision. As you can see, I also upload some videos like this, tutorials and stuff, and you know, might help you in some of your technical or some of your gadget there. So I appreciate if you're gonna subscribe. It's just for free, and it will definitely help the channel grow. Holy moly, it almost dropped that inside, I don't like that. So yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. I find myself playing my PlayStation game more than I used to do, right? Because I now play it using Chucky all the time. All right, wow, that is some gorgeous Steam Deck right there, guys. What do you say? Looks amazing, right? Looks incredible. I love the matte nature of it, and it's super tight. Not even a bit of a moving object, and this part actually accentuated it because I love the design. They could have like just put some straight up grills on that one, or just some circle boring design, but that design is actually really good, right? That's complementing the entire Steam Deck, and wow, not even a bit of moving object or whatever, and super tight, super tight. I love that. You know what, let's proceed in the testing here. So let me go ahead and turn it on. I believe we're playing the what do you call this, Monster Hunter Rise earlier. Look at this Steam Deck OLED, guys. It's amazing. Again, that is an HDR display, and yeah, so without changing anything, right, so the audio there, and I'm gonna run a little bit here, exactly the same stuff as before. We're getting about 74, right, 70 to 74 temperature earlier, right, around I think 68 to 74. All right, safe to say we're getting around 68 to 74 before. But look at that right now. We're we're getting 54 Celsius degrees there. 59. Okay, it's gonna be 60, but the fan is just 4,000. You know what? Let me sit this again a couple of minutes and let's see if it's actually going to be better. This is still on maximum settings. As you can see, we just put it on sleep earlier and then went straight on the settings, or replacing it. So everything is on high, everything's on, anti-aliasing is maxed, and variable rate shading, which will help it, it's turned off, and depth of field is turned on. Everything is just really high. We're maxing at 59. Okay, I can see 60 right now, but the fan is just 4,000. Remember, the fan earlier is about 5,400. So let me see. Okay, all right, I think it's not as hot as before, so I appreciate the air here. It actually feels good. That's why I'm like thinking it feels good. And oh wow, I can actually feel cold air going here. Holy moly, that is helping tremendously. It definitely pulls a lot of air in these parts compared to this. Before, you won't even feel cold air here. Honestly, it's almost like just passive, but it's pulling air. But on this one, you can definitely feel cold air. Holy smokes, that is great. No cap, guys, no cap. I don't know how to explain it to you. I wanted to show it though, but it's not as powerful as something that can move that. But it definitely pulls a lot of cold air here, and you would imagine that the IC and everything else will just have cold air because it's pulling up a lot of cold air here. So it's not emitting air, right? If that's your worry, it's not exhausting hot air here. It's actually pulling. And if there's a lot of cold air here, it's gonna, some of them or majority of that will vent out this way, but it's actually gonna go elsewhere. It's gonna go here in the battery. It's gonna go here because it's also super sealed. It's gonna go here, matching with the cold air that's getting here. I suspect this will be a lot colder. Actually, a lot colder. Okay, so we've been running this for quite some time now. I mean, a couple of minutes. Again, this is on maximum possible settings, and HDR, 90 hertz. Running on 90 hertz, but game scope's just 50. Oh, it's even running higher, 50 FPS now compared to 45 earlier, right? But the temps are drastically low. They're now 63, 58 on CPU, and running at 4,300 RPM, which is 1,000 RPM lower than what we have earlier. Now, we might think that, we haven't run it really hard yet. We just opened it up and things like that. We did that. We did the same, right? With the other case, with the default case earlier, we actually did the same. We just opened it up like this, played it for like 5 minutes or so, and can you continue talking while it's being played. And it's sitting at 74 Celsius degrees for GPU and CPU. But this one CPU is really cold at 58. Wow, that is like 10 Celsius degrees lower, right? For the GPU, it now runs at 63, as you can see, 63, 62, which is also 10 degree colder. Wow. And again, all of this with 4,300 RPM. which is 1,000 lower than the actual fan that we have earlier. Because of this, we're actually running high. We're now reaching 55. I saw 55, 50 earlier FPS. Earlier, we're just getting flat 45, nothing else. I think because of the temperature, there's not much throttling, and it can even reach like almost 60. Oh my god, it actually reached 60 FPS with everything maxed out, which again we cannot get earlier. We're just getting like 45. I didn't realize that it'll have that advantage. Actually, I thought it's a little bit gimmick. The CPU is very cold at 60. It's not going 60 earlier. It's just flat 70, 74 earlier. But right now it's 60, which is 10-degree colder. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what to say, guys. It's pretty amazing. I love it. I don't regret buying this now. Honestly speaking, I was skeptical a little bit of buying this because it might mess up with the temps. But right now, after seeing it, I'm actually glad that I bought this because without the fan attachment, it's super cold, right? I love it. So that means I will not even need to use the fan, the attachment for JSAUX, but then it performs like as if there's an auxiliary fan above. Look at that. 63, 60, 4,400 fan curve. Watch, bananas, right? Nothing is like manipulated or anything, guys. It's just exactly the same as what we tested earlier, and you really judge that. It's just running amazing. It can even reach higher FPS right now because of this. Earlier we're just stuck on 45, but right now it's reaching 50, 52, even 60 earlier, which is nuts. Yeah, I cannot get the temperature to increase anymore further. It's just sitting at 59 and 64. It will never reach 74 like what it did earlier. Amazing. So yeah, very easy to install. I actually highly recommend it because it looks ridiculously awesome, right? Look at that. Looks super fancy, right? I absolutely love the look of it, and yeah, not to mention the performance, guys. A lot of cold air are coming into this section now. I don't feel anything being blown away from me, but I can definitely feel cold air getting inside. So, wow. Amazing, guys. I absolutely love it. Highly recommended. If you ask me personally, 60 still. Highly recommended. Steam Deck OLED 1 TB compatible. Absolutely bananas. But that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Comment down below if you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions. I definitely read my comments, so I'll definitely respond to you if I have time. But yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Again, I unbox and review things like this, so it might help you in purchase decision. But again, that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, guys, and see you on my next one. Peace.